ladies and gentlemen, Reginald Scott here, coming to you with news about a review I did on the Hornit 140 decibel bike horn. I did this review and my god, it was brilliant. I gave loads of interesting information about this bike horn, anecdotal information about what happens when I use it, scientific information, the history of its development and its design, the physics behind moving air to make sound, you know, just everything. Family history of the engineers who designed it, their favourite ice cream flavours, everything about this minutely interesting and factual review of this device. And I loaded it onto my computer, and guess what? It was over 30 minutes long. And I went, my god, who on earth, who would sit down on the internet and watch a video review that was 30 minutes long that did not contain naked women, for example, or puppies, or babies making interesting noises, or the top 10 of horror movie monsters. You know, something that we all go on the internet to watch. After all, that's what the internet is for, you know, watching skateboarders fall off skateboards. Not watching boring reviews about pieces of black plastic that emanate strange noises. So this is my much more succinct and to the point and hard-hitting review on the Hornit bike horn. So, as it states, 140 decibels. Does it work? Is it useful? No, it is not. Save your money and buy something else. Buy something you like. How about ice cream? Or chocolate? Or cake? No, don't buy this. Simply because when you press the button, yes, it does indeed emanate a noise that is 140 decibels and is reminiscent of a bird chirping. Kind of a bit like a budgerigar on speed. But let's not concentrate on my budgerigar's drug habit. Let's talk about why this isn't effective. Well, firstly, chirping isn't associated with a moving vehicle or a warning of the approach of a moving vehicle. A car horn is, and a bicycle bell is, but this does not sound like either. So 9 times out of 10 a motorist will ignore you and continue to pull out in front of you. You might as well save the few newtons of pressure you applied to the button for this and add that to your braking, because you're going to need it. Now, 9 times out of 10, drivers don't respond to this. In fact, they may even ridicule you. Ha, nice rape alarm, mate. Yes, it's not effective against drivers. Don't believe the Hornit propaganda, which is on their sales video, and my god, I was foolish for believing it myself. After all, they would say it was the best thing since sliced bread. It won't stop anything. It won't even stop a milk float. I have found. But I hear you ask, what about pedestrians? Surely they would respond to such a loud noise. Well, think about it logically. If you've got an old age pensioner wandering down the wrong side of a cycle track, and you're coming up behind them at speed, 15 miles an hour upwards, which is about average, I would say, for you cyclists out there, and you suddenly, out of nowhere, hit them with 140 or 130 decibels of screeching noise, do you really think they're going to be best pleased? No, they're probably going to turn around and want to throttle you or punch you in the face. I certainly would. And as a cyclist, we don't want to be encouraging people to commit acts of physical violence against us, do we? A lot of people hate us unnecessarily already without any reason. We certainly don't want to be giving people reason to dislike cyclists any more than people already do. So, no, it's not good. And the other thing you find is people, again, completely ignore you. They just assume it's a car alarm from Halfords that hasn't been installed correctly. Because we hear car alarms and house alarms going off all the time, don't we? And this sounds just like that. It doesn't sound like a car horn. It doesn't sound like a bike bell. I had 2 teenage girls walking in front of me on a cycle track once, side by side, completely oblivious to my presence. I had pressed this 5 times on my approach to them, and they did not respond once. And that is not an isolated incident. That happens all the time. But surprisingly, when I use my voice instead of this budgerigar on speed, people respond 100% of the time, of all ages, of all walks of life. Everybody responds to me politely asking them to move out the way. And so I conclude from that this is a waste of money. If you can't rely on it, you won't rely on it. I use this less and less now, and I'm thinking of even taking the mounting off my bike, simply because why would I want the additional weight on my bike when some cyclists out there are so mad on weight that they'd even take their dust caps off? Well, you wouldn't have this, would you, if it didn't actually work? And yes, I'm afraid it doesn't. So, nice try, Hornit. Lovely design and all that. And yeah, it's pretty reliable. Works rain or shine. I mean, the air sound, which seems to get up motorist noses quite well, according to videos I've watched on the internet. For example, Cycling Mikey often pisses drivers off with his air sound, and good for him. Yeah, I'm told that doesn't work in winter. Something to do with a drop in air pressure in the container due to contraction of the air, or the diaphragm gets frozen, something like that. But yeah, this works all year round, but the problem is the response you get isn't as good as the response you get from the air sound, and the reason for that is the air sound sounds like a car horn. Go away, Hornit, and develop something that sounds like a car horn in one setting and a bike bell in another setting. That would be perfect, and then you wouldn't be wasting your money. So there you are. That's my review of the Hornit. Until they improve it, don't bother. And I would say don't bother for any other electric sounding bike horn unless it does actually emit a sound that is recognisable as a vehicle approaching. Yeah, it's loud. Definitely loud.